In this video, I'm going to be talking about blocked pawns, not on 5th rank. Now, in this kind of ending endgame, you must consider three things. How advanced the blocked rook's pawn are, how advanced the passed pawn is himself, and the position of the king himself. Now, the reason why this game is called blocked pawns not on 5th rank is because by the fact when you usually move a pawn to the 6th rank, they're very close to promotion. And by being very close to promotion, it means that white has a very good chance of checkmating this game, and not in this game and in the draw. So let's play out this game. Black is to move. Now, if Black were to move in this position, what are his only options? Black's only option is either one, move his king to the side right here. But if he's moving to his king's side right here, it gives Whites the opportunity to move up and capture a further key square right in front of this pawn that allow it to promote safely. Therefore, Black's only move is to try to remain in front of the pawn, and in some ways block the pawn from promoting. In some ways, by remaining in his rank, in his column, pawn cannot promote. White's only option in this position is to try and move over to the side. That might seem to be unintuitive. Shouldn't White try to capture the key square right above here? Well, not really, because this pawn at the end of the day isn't a pawn that he wants to promote. He also at the end of the day wants to get rid of Black's pawn. Because by getting rid of Black's pawn, it reduces any probability that Black can checkmate against White. Because White has an extra pawn, he can use this pawn as a distractor, or something that can basically capture Black's king's attention until White can finally move over to this pawn right here, and thus capture it and thus help this pawn over here to promote. So Black might simply move right back, seeing that White hasn't really done much. Black's option is to move over here. Well, Black White is to move over here then. Black cannot move down or up. He might try to counter this movement. But of course, White can move right here. When White moves right here, Black can sure enough can try to go over protect his black pawn. But that gives the key opportunity to White to move over and move his pawn up. By moving his pawn up, it creates a distraction for Black. Black has a value where is worthy enough to save his pawn or allow this pawn to promote. Because once this pawn promotes, even though he may save this pawn cannot move forward, and Black is in a lost position. Therefore, Black is most safest bet in this case, or in some ways a lose-lose solution, or the worst losing solution, is to simply take this pawn. While this pawn realizes that Black must take his pawn, and thus he moves over. When he moves over, Black may take this pawn, simply because there's nothing better to do. White takes his pawn. Now, of course, Black may try to retaliate by trying going back and try to block this pawn from promoting. White's option is to move diagonally upwards, to always maintain himself within the G file. By maintaining on the G file, he prevents Black from moving up and capturing any first square and blocking this pawn from promoting. Therefore, Black might try moving up. In this case, White should move up, because by moving this ball, he's able to control the last three key squares upon which White's pawn can promote. Black might simply try to stop the pawn by going downwards, by going closer to the pawn. White can simply move his pawn up, and even though Black were to move here, White still can be able to make one more step and be safely within White's own king range. So what if Black king didn't really go down? Why would he try to go up? Well, if he try to go up, he's still blocked. He cannot move to any of these three squares, and he's further blocked and is unable to any chances of capturing this pawn. But in either way, White is gonna win. So let's play it out. Black moves down, White moves up. Black moves down again, White moves up. And as we all know, White will be able to promote his pawn to become a queen. Happy checkmating. From this position, what we see most valued. Passed pawn over here, who do not have anyone necessarily blocking him permanently, as Black King can always move, should be in the pawn to distract Black King. Because by distracting Black King realizes that he must take this pawn, or risk having this pawn promoted, and in the face of trying to save his own pawn, realizes it's not really worth saving his pawn if he cannot take the pawn over here. By taking the pawn over here, he may have taken the pawn over here, but he loses his own pawn, and at the end of the day is checkmated. For White, the only key strategy, remain between two of these pawns. By remaining between, he's able to capitalize on the opportunity that if Black's move over here, Black may take this pawn, but White can capture Black's pawn. By moving over to that side, he can use this pawn, who has no one blocking him, to move up and promote it. So that although Black may take the White pawn over here, we have a queen already promoted. But in some ways, White has an advantage by having two pawns, because he has two options for finding ways to promote his pawn to become a queen. Now it is White to play. Now with White to play, this becomes a more interesting game. Because with White to do, he may play the same variation. He moves over. He prevents Black from gaining any meaningful squares going downwards and be able to take this pawn. So Black may simply try to move over here. However, when he moves over here, we can move our king up, protecting this future square right here. Black may try to counter us. By moving back, he gives us the opportunity to move in between our pawns. By moving between the pawns, He prevents black from moving over to the right, preventing him from protecting his own pawn. Black's only option at this point is to try to capture this pawn. However, if he tries to move over, we can move our pawn up. At this point, Black realizes that our pawn is only 3 steps away from promotion, and that if even though he tries to go over to save his pawn, he will still lose his own self due to the fact that his pawn will promote soon enough, and that even though he saves his pawn and maybe eventually hopefully takes his white pawn, he's still gonna be checkmated as one side is a queen and he doesn't. Therefore, Black, going back to this position, realizes that he has to take the pawn. Of course, it's a lose-lose solution for him, but at least it has to prevent everything and every opportunity that he can get to prevent White from promoting his pawn to become a queen. White, realizing this, takes advantage of this and simply moves to Black's pawn. Black may take this pawn, but White can also take this pawn in this case too. Now Black has no more opportunity to cause a checkmate. White, in this case, is now left with his own pawn to try to checkmate him. Black might try moving back to at least try to block the pawn on this last square over here. White must simply move out diagonally as always. Because by moving out diagonally that way, he gives space for his pawn to promote, but at the same time control the g file upon which is the most crucial file upon which he can help protect his pawn to promotion, and at the same time block Black kings from moving over and blocking his pawn. Therefore, Black's only option is to try moving up, because if he tries to take this pawn, there's no use. White's king's way too close, and his pawn's only one step away from the king's protection. Therefore, we can move our pawn safely up. So even though Black moves up, our king can move one more step. And we also remember, if this king can control the last 3 key squares upon which the pawn must promote upon, Black has no opportunity of taking this pawn without simply being checkmated. Therefore, Black might try moving down, we move up, Black moves down, our pawn moves up, and also remember, on h8 is upon which our pawn can promote. Hence, it's a win for White if he plays carefully, with the right direction and the right position. Happy checkmating.